Hey guys, welcome back to the Quiet Podcast where silent cups are filled. I'm Kenzer Sandra, your host, and as you've seen, we're going to talk about a new journal on the market. Journaling in the quiet, meaningful gratitude, our official journal. Before I talk about what it's in it, let's talk about journaling. Why should you journal? Why journaling? Most people, when they think about journaling, they think about it being perfect, having perfect wordings, perfect words to write in, perfect ways to put things down. But for me, when I think about journaling, I think about a place where I can safely vent out my emotions, vent out my anger, vent out my ideas, put down my thoughts, and rearrange everything. Why in the quiet? When I was creating in the Quiet podcast, I had gone through a very tough stage in my life. I was grieving the loss of my sister. And one of the things that helped me go through that period was journaling, writing down my emotions, writing down my pain, writing down the memories of what we've been through, what we shared, and thinking about the future. So it was a mess. It was a mixture of everything. It was emotional reflection, regulation, ideas, future, everything. But I realized it wasn't perfect, but it was helpful. It was easy for me to cry while I'm writing. It was easy for me to laugh while I'm writing. It was it was an experience that I thought and wished that everyone could have a chance or the knowledge or an opportunity to have. And then I realized I was looking for gratitude journals. I was looking for them and I wasn't finding the things that I was looking for. I didn't want something that is only looking at the good things because most of us tend to think that gratitude is only looking at the big good things that are happening in your life, which is what our brain does. From a psychological perspective, our brain focuses on the negative bias, which is normal. It just focuses on ways to survive, to make us live through this life. That is its function. But you, as a person, you're supposed to decide, how do I want to live? Yes, my brain is trying to live in survival mode, is trying to make means for me to survive. That's why it's going to focus on the things that are not going well currently in your life. But it's you looking at just a few good things that are going on in your life and focusing on them and magnifying them. It changes the perspective to life. Yes, I was going through grief. Yes, I was going through pain and I was grieving. I was venting in my journal, writing down. But I had also, after a few months, I also graduated. So there were other celebrations in my life that were going on, and it had been months after the loss of my sister. My brain, of course, was choosing to focus on the pain that my body was feeling, which is true and valid as it should. But it was making me forget these other good things that are happening for me in my life. And I was reminded, I was reminded to take a moment and think of them and appreciate them more. It brought me new joy, new approach to life. And through that, that's when I was able to come up with this idea of a podcast, to start podcasting, to have a space where we can talk about our vulnerability, talk about emotions, mental health, and psychology, all these things that we struggle with that our African community does not necessarily embrace or has not yet embraced, yet they are equally very important. There are lots of people navigating grief, but they do not know how to because they feel taking their time and writing down is wasting their time, but also talking to someone is also putting yourself out there. It's like you're going to emotionally be naked. So most people are holding in the pain holding in the stress, holding in the confusion, holding in all the burdens. But there is a great way where you don't have to feel unsafe or emotionally naked is by writing it down, writing down your emotions, writing down your thoughts. It is safe because it is you who's reading it and you're able to go through and evaluate and see how far you've come, how far you've gone, the changes that you've made in your lives. Because when I look back, when I go through the journals that I was writing in 2024, when I go through them right now, it makes me have this sense of pride of how far I've come, and it has helped me be able to put together this channel and formulate it to the way that I think was perfect for me. It entails lots of prompts that are very, very inclusive, very thoughtful, that I have practiced and used myself, because the one part that I loved most is the part that I included that showed my resilience. So every day I would think of how did I show resilience throughout this day. Though yes, I'm grieving, yes, I'm going through stress, I'm going through work stress, but how have I shown resilience today for myself? And what did it reveal to me? What capacities did it reveal to me? That was a very key point that I was looking for in different journals that I was looking for. I was like, why can I create it myself and use it for myself? So the journal is very detailed and guided. It is guiding you on how to show meaningful gratitude. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to be figured out. You don't have to have big celebrations to be grateful or to show gratitude. Having having a gift of life is great too. It is gratitude in itself. Having family, having friends, having people around you, it's something to be grateful for. And the small things in life are the ones that make life meaningful. The tiny bits that we tend to not focus on are the ones that end up making something big in our lives. That's why I would encourage for all of us to start our journey on journaling. It could be reflection, it could be ways that you want maybe to start something. Having thoughts in your mind can crowd your mind, but if you put them down, you're able to reduce on the confusion in your mind. You're able to stage them or put steps or be able to have guided goals by not just thinking about them. So if you can just start journaling for just even 5 minutes a day, within a month, looking back at every 5 minutes that you've journaled, you'd realize how much things or how much thoughts you're able to put down. Because as I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be lots of pages. It doesn't have to be well written grammatically or even handwriting. You don't have to feel insecure about what you're putting down, because what you're putting down is your thoughts. And the more you put down your thoughts, the easier for you to recognize your patterns. So if you can go through back, like if you've been journaling for a month and go through them again, you'll be able to realize that every day I actually write about these things. That means every day I'm thinking about these things. And you're able to ask yourself the hard questions. Why do I think about these things? Why do these things keep showing up? And as the good book says, so as a man thinks, he is. Most of the times we are what we think. If you are able to journal and put down your thoughts, you'll be able to figure out what your life actually is. You'll be able to realize, oh, I'm A, B, C, D, because this is what I write about every day. And what you write about every day is what you think about every day. And what you think about every day is what you do every day, which is literally your life. And you're able to figure out, how can I change this? How can I fix this? What should I let go of? What should I emphasize on? Because you could be able to realize your habits, your bad habits, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I had these habits. Though people were saying this, I didn't realize I was this bad, but now I'm able to see it because it's like a reflection of who you are on paper. That's why journaling is very important. But I'm so big on meaningful gratitude because it's not about you trying to live in negative positivity. It's you trying to live the reality of life. Life can be hard sometimes, but there is always good things in hardships. And there is always hardships in good things. That's just the reality of life. That's the life we live in. No one is living a perfect life. Not everything you see on social media is what is in people's lives. And just because someone is living is seeming to live the life that you would want doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have things to be grateful for in your life or in your family or within your friends, within your community, within your circles. There is always something good that you could be appreciative of. And that's the main purpose of this journal, is to help you realize that's something good. Even if it's one thing, even if it's half a thing, it is something good that you should focus on, because it also changes our patterns in our brain, which helps us build new patterns, hence new thoughts and a new lifestyle. It's one step at a time. Just as I told you before, my grief journey, yes, I was journaling, but I wasn't journaling as much. And now it has become a habit, which has led me to create the journal. But I know, I promise you, it is one step at a time, and it takes time, and you don't have to think, as I said, to be perfect. All you have to do is to be consistent, is to say, I may not manage 10 minutes a day, but I can manage 5 minutes a day. I may not manage 5 minutes a day, but I might manage 3 minutes a day. As long as you do something, as long as every day you're doing something about your journey and journaling, it is better than not journaling at all. Even if you write one sentence, it's better than not writing that one sentence. And I promise you, with time, you will see how far you'll be able to measure, because this is measurable. It's not like other things where you're like, it's not measurable. Journaling is measurable. You can see the progress. You can measure the progress through how many journals you've used. This is it's a 3 month journal. So you can be able to measure it and say, these last months, for example, if you've started in February, you can be like, in February, March, and April, I filled this journal every day. It has morning and evening. So there's no pressure. You can just fill in the morning and be like, yeah, I filled one page in the morning, and it's guided. It's not like you have to think for yourself. Everything, it's guided. It asks you, what is it that it wants you to answer? For example, it asks you that today I'm grateful for. You write what you're grateful for. If it's one thing, you write it. If it's two things, you write two things. It's about what you want to share. So it has no pressure at all. It doesn't put pressure on you to think of like how many pages to write. No, it is free and guided according to how you want to do it. That's why I recommend guided journals for beginners, because you want something to prompt you, you want something to remind you. And it's okay. It's okay to feel like you don't want to feel it today. It's okay. You can always write the following day or the following night. But it's best, if you're trying to build new patterns, to be consistent. Because again, discipline, you won't just speak it, you have to practice it. And the reality of life is, some things are hard to do and some things are hard to choose. But if you want good things for your life, if you want new habits, new patterns, unfortunately you have or fortunately you have to work for them. As much as I would want it to seem easy for people to journal, especially going through hard times, it's not. It's a choice. You have to choose it. You have to make a choice to say, yes, I'm grieving, but I'm choosing to move, to heal. Yes, I am procrastinating, or yes, I'm lazy, because it's a fact. Some of us are lazy to do certain things. It's easy to think, but it's hard to do these things because sometimes we are lazy. So it's about you choosing to say, I want to walk through this journey of being consistent, being disciplined, taking care of my mental health, taking care of myself, practicing self-care. I feel like the best self-care that you can have is journaling, because you are able to talk to yourself, give yourself the words of affirmation that the world has not given you, give yourself quality time that the world has not given you. Because when you're journaling, you are sitting with yourself and your thoughts, and you are reflecting what your body is thinking. That is the first quality time that you can get from the world. I don't think you should expect people to give you quality time if you can't even sit with yourself 5 minutes. If you don't think you're valuable enough to sit with yourself for 5 minutes, why do you think I should sit with you 5 minutes? Why should I talk to you for 5 minutes if you can't talk to yourself for 5 minutes? I think we owe that to ourselves. We owe self-love to ourselves. We owe self-care to ourselves. We owe these words of affirmation to ourselves. If you expect people to tell you how beautiful you are, how hardworking you are, I feel like you've already failed yourself. That's why we have these journals where you can write those words of affirmation for yourself before you expect even your caregivers or even your parents or your loved ones to offer you this space, to offer you this safe space, to offer you these words of affirmation, to offer you this quality time. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to take care of your mental health, take care of your body, to love yourself. And there is no better way to do that other than through journaling, through giving yourself time where it can show, it's an opportunity to show yourself all these good things that you would want the world to show you. In conclusion, as I conclude on these journey journals, there are different types of journaling. You can choose to do um, personal reflection or regulation or meaningful gratitude, or open journal where you just write from morning to evening, or where it's free from the top to the bottom, or have guided journals where they are prompted depending on what you're looking for. But for now, we have our first journal ever, and it's meaningful gratitude. And you will be able to get it through our website, thequietplacehub.com, or on our Instagram at inthequietplace.com, and we'll be able to deliver it to you. So if your brain has been struggling with thoughts, too much thoughts, shifting attention, creating emotional balance, or increasing resilience, you need this journal. It will help you through. And things that you can be grateful for are having a supportive friend, having a loving family member, having a safe place to stay or for your emotions. All these are things that we can be grateful for, that can be able to show us that we can use this gratitude journal. And last but not least, thank you so much for tuning in if you've watched this far. And if you haven't subscribed, please do on our YouTube channel. It's in the Quiet Podcast, where silent cups are filled. And on Spotify, please follow, and on Apple Podcast, and on our Instagram and TikTok. It has been nice sharing this journey with you, and I hope we can share this new journey of journaling and podcasting together. And I've been Kenzuri. Ciao.